Hello, my name is Frank Huntley. Some people know me as Pillman. I've been on a mission for the last 10 years to try to show people how serious some of these things are. See, I got addicted to all these pills that you're looking at. Oxycodone and methadone from 1998 to 2013. And it's been about 10 years since I've touched a pill. And now I try to build other sculptures to show people what different types of addictions are, and things that I dealt with, things that I went through, things that my family went through. See, I'm not here to try to stop anyone from doing any of these things. What I am here to do is make sure your eyes are wide open and you see how serious some of these things are. And most people are losing control with drugs, with alcohol, with dabs, with vapes, with food. You name it, it's an addiction. And that's what I'm trying to do, is show people that there are different types of addictions out there and that we have a very serious problem and we need to do something about it.
Where did you grow up?
I grew up in Chelsea, next to Boston. And that's where my addiction started. You know, it started with marijuana, and then it started with coke. And I had a problem with coke, and I ended up quitting that. I ended up leaving Chelsea and moving to Maine for a little while and getting clean. But then I moved to Marlboro, and my life changed. I ended up meeting a girl, ended up getting married, had a son, and then I ended up getting hurt. I think it was about just after my daughter, actually. My daughter was 2 years old. So I think it was right after that I got hurt, and then I got put on oxycodone. When somebody introduces you to any of this, okay, the biggest thing you have to worry about, that you don't get a taste for one of these things. Because once you get a taste for one of these things, what do you want? You want more, you want more, you want more, and you want more. Look at our streets and look at these people. They're lost, they're zombies. This is not the path to go, okay? We can do better than this.
How was your childhood?
How was my childhood? It was pretty good. It was good. My father was a great guy. My father was an artist. He actually built sculptures. And my mom, she worked at a restaurant, and she was a bartender. But my mom had some serious addictions. You know, my mom was a drinker, and I seen so many bad things with my mom growing up, and my father happened to deal with it. And then as I got older, my father started having addictions because my mother had addictions, you know, and that's what happens to most families, you know, because it's in one person starts it, the other one's not doing it. Well, all of a sudden they're doing it, and they're actually doing more because once they bring it into the house. So, but besides that, my mom and dad always had good food on the table. You know, the neighborhood kids would come over, there'd be 10 boxes of cereal in the cabinet. Everybody was welcome to eat in my house. My father showed me how to respect people. And that's what I try to do now. I try to respect people, you know, so, yeah. It was a good house.
Were you the only kid growing up, the only sibling?
No, I have an older sister, a year older, and I have a brother 3 years younger. And, yeah, my whole family is gone. Okay, my whole family's gone because my father, he died New Year's Eve, okay? And he had addictions, okay? My mom, she ended up passing away. She had addictions with opiates, okay? My sister, she died Christmas night, okay? And she had a big addiction with Oxycontin and other pills, and she was so lost. Yeah, like I said, my father was New Year's Eve, my sister was Christmas night, okay? And my brother, he just passed away 2 days before Thanksgiving because of his addiction. And my brother was on liquid methadose, okay? And that's what thousands of people every single morning are going to do, is drink this liquid methadose to come off of these opiates. Okay, they either go on Suboxone or methadone or other drugs, but the problem is they ended up living on these drugs for years. See, my brother was on liquid methadose for 20 years. 20 years he had to wake up every single day and go to the clinic and get his dose.
So that's prescribed in order
That's
for you to
prescribed.
get off
That's what doctors and everybody is sending you to these clinics to get clean. But if you look at our streets and look at these people on this liquid methadose, they're lost. They're zombies. This is not the path to go, okay? We can do better than this. The problem is they're keeping these people on a very high dose. My brother was 3 years younger than me, okay? He looked 10 to 15 years older than me when I saw him at the end, okay? And that was because of probably 30 years of smoking cigarettes and over 20 years of drinking that liquid methadose. Listen, I want people to go, I want people to run to get help, but those kind of places are actually, they're not helping because they're keeping them there even longer. Some people do get the recovery out of it, but most people are scared to come off of that. The biggest reason they're scared of all the side effects, all the withdrawals from the medicine when you don't have it in you. And that's the biggest thing. People ain't got that willpower to stay strong enough. And believe me, I was on oxycodone and methadone for 15 years. I had major withdrawals for so many years when I took too much of the medicine. And when I overdid the medicine, or if I didn't have the medicine, I would start having those withdrawals and my body would shut down. So, and you will do anything in your power to not have that shit happen to your body. And it's a nightmare. So I can understand why people they're scared. But we have to have better solutions. You know, we have to make drugs that basically you don't have to go and if you stop the drug, you're not going to have the side effects. You're not going to get sick. You're not going to have you're not going to get sick. That's the biggest thing.
So Frank, would you say that taking someone off of one drug to put them on methadone is just causing another form of addiction?
Yes, a very big addiction. And like I said, it's even worse. My brother came off of the oxys, right? Okay, he was only doing that for a couple of years, right? Then he ended up doing methadone for 20 years? Come on, that's a whole different ride. Okay, that's wrong. My brother had 6 kids, okay? It's 20 years, so both of those families actually went through with him having to put those kids in the car, go to the clinic, get his dose, okay? But my brother did one thing, okay, what a lot of people on that shit don't do. He went to work every single day. He took that dose and then he woke up and he went to work and he provided, okay? But a lot of those people, they take that medicine and they'll sit there with methadone and they'll drop, oh my God, they'll doze off. If you're not doing anything productive on that medicine, you are zombies. You are total zombies on that type of medicine, and it's scary and it's wrong, and we need to do something about that.
What was the first drug that you ever tried?
Marijuana. It was me and a group of friends of mine. It's actually funny, and it was me and a group of friends of mine, and we had like probably an ounce of weed. It was new to me, never seen it.
How old were you then?
I was probably about 14. I know I was 14, 14. And they had a Cheech and Chong album, okay? And in the album, there's a rolling paper, okay? So we basically, they took it, because I was new, I didn't know, but they took it and put it all in there and then tried to roll it up.
Big joint?
Yeah, big joint. And it was probably about, I think it was like 5 of us sitting there. And they rolled it up and we all hit it, but it was terrible how they rolled it, but that was the first time I ever smoked. And then I started smoking a little bit and
You remember how you felt when you first smoked?
Yeah, I was, because I had to go, I went home and I saw my mother. I walked in the door and my mom was right there. And I went straight to, she said, Frankie, come here. And I went straight over to her and I looked her straight in the eye and I was stoned. And my mother was asking me questions and I was just lost, but that's the funniest thing I remember with my mom with that first thing. But that was probably my first one.
And then from the first time trying weed, when was your transition to when you first
Oh
first
man.
pill or first hard?
See, that's the thing right there. See, that's a good question because everything I've ever done, okay, it was always with a different girl, okay, and it's because you're with a different person,
Not to
okay.
cut you off, but do you feel like every new partner or it was a new drug that you got exposed to? And
That's right.
Kind of what
Yeah.
led you.
That's right. That's what I'm trying to say. Each person that I ended up with, okay, I ended up doing something different with. Okay, one was weed, one was coke, okay, one was pills, okay. It was like that. So that's where, and then all of a sudden, the girl would leave, but I'd keep doing that bad thing. See, that's what we have to be careful about, okay? When somebody introduces you to any of this, okay, the biggest thing you have to worry about, that you don't get a taste for one of these things. Because once you get a taste for one of these things, what do you want? You want more, you want more, you want more, and you want more, okay? And yeah, that's where you have to be careful, you know, and I wasn't. You know, I had a very, I was weak, man. You know, I got the taste. I drank Mountain Dew soda for 25 years.